So, welcome to the Building Blocks podcast. Today we have with us Rohit. He's an IIT Delhi alumni who started Aroleap with a bunch of his friends. They are building a smart home gym solution, and you might have recently seen them on Shark Tank season 3, where they secured a four shark deal. So, before we dive deep into his journey, thank you so much, Rohit, for joining me. It's a pleasure to host you.
Thanks a lot, yeah. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So let's get started. So before starting off, one thing that I have noticed that most of the successful business are born during the most of the challenging times, be it Airbnb or Zomato. Like most of them has emerged during the 2008 global financial crisis, and you launched Aeroleap right in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. So could you share your story behind this? What inspired you to start a company during such uncertain times, and how did the idea come about?
So a lot of our investors also ask this question just because the timing is such that you would think that somebody would start a home gym company during the pandemic. But for us, the decision was completely independent of the pandemic. It was in the making a couple of months before the pandemic started. And the way it started off was we were four friends. All of us had graduated from IIT Delhi in 2018. All of us were doing our day jobs at different places, but we always wanted to start something of our own. So we had a group where we kept bouncing off ideas of different industries, and this when we came up on the idea of Aeroleap, we all of us were very much into it. Like we thought, ki, yeah, this is something that we are excited about, and this is something where we can add value. So that is where how we decided ki we'll start this, and we did the way we started off was a very gradual process. The way it worked was ki we knew it was a hardware startup. We knew we were building something that we had to build from scratch, the entire technology, and there was nothing like this in the market. So we knew it was going to take time, and we did not have money. So even if we had to raise funds during a pandemic for a hardware startup, it was going to be very tough. So it was going to be a long process. So the way we started off doing this sustainably was that two of us, out of the four of us, two of us who were earning the most amount of money, they decided that they'll keep their day jobs. And the two of us who were earning the least, we just left our job and started working on this full time. And all of us had one condition: ki we did not want to ask our parents for money. We did not wanted to depend on them. We wanted to do something
Hmm.
of our own. So what we decided was that the two of us who had kept their day jobs, they'll just put in that entire, as much as their saving they could possibly do. They'll just save as much money as possible and put it in the startup. So they ended up giving us like 70% of their salaries per month, just to keep the startup running. And the rest of us, and both of us, like me and Anurag, we started living as frugally as possible and just trying to build the tech on our own. And the goal was just to get to that basic prototype level so that we can show it to some investor and then get their confidence. Yeah, this is something that we can build. So that is how it started, and it was like that for a very long time. So we spent around a year in that state where we just kept building prototype after prototype, trying to get to a stage where we'll be able to convince somebody. So yeah, so that is how that was a very slow process, and for us it was completely pandemic independent. I just bought a 3D printer at my home, moved to my sister's home because we did not want to pay rent. Two of us were in that room locked away, just having like that 3D printer, building prototype after prototype. So that's how it started.
No, so sounds like interesting that though not a conscious decision, but it was for me. It sounds like a strategic decision that two of you left your job and two of you were building it full time. So sounds interesting, but though not a conscious decision, it the timing seems to be great because the pandemic has heightened our collective awareness for health and fitness. So, be it like you are fortunately or unfortunately, it's a good thing for your startup. And how significant was the timing of your startup in your journey? So, like, do you believe COVID-19 has positively impacted Aeroleap's growth? And with the world gradually returning to normal, have you noticed any shift in the demand for home workout solutions?
Yeah, so for us, not a single one of our customer bought it because of the pandemic. So it was not like
Okay.
I don't want to go to the gym because there is a pandemic and they bought our product. But what pandemic did at a upper level was it showed people that they can work out at home. Like that is even an option. Like before that, everybody thought if they have to properly work out at home for if they have to properly work out, they'll have to go to a gym. But you can do a full-fledged workout at home. That is something that a lot of people got convinced after the pandemic, and then they realized, yeah, there are huge benefits of working out at home as well, and going to the gym is not for everybody. So that in itself helped us a lot. And apart from that, definitely, like pandemic in general, it has raised the awareness about fitness for sure. So that also has positively affected Aeroli.
No, so definitely like it's a before such kind of product existed, it was a task to work out at home. I myself started working out in the pandemic, but I used to go in the gym previously, but during pandemic there was no such option. So I just had two dumbbells. I borrowed it from my friend, but it's not that effective. Like you have only two dumbbells, you can't change the weight of it. You can't have so many dumbbells also at your place, and you can't just keep it. So yeah, that was this was definitely a problem. And when I saw the product, like you have definitely put a lot of thought behind building this. Like there are a lot of small details and features which when I saw the Shark Tank episode, I came to know that you have built about the resistance or the spotting thing that you mentioned. So like, could you tell us more about the device and what it offers, and is it designed to fully replace the traditional gym workouts? How many different forms of exercises can someone perform on it? And how is it priced? Like, do you offer it on one-time purchase or it's a subscription model?
Yeah, so I'll answer it one by one. So,
Yeah.
what I think the way fitness works in a person's life is that it's not like a one solution is going to work for him for his entire life. So most of our customer have very regularly been to the gym. They love working out at the gym. So that was always there, which was a very key insight that we got later on. But it's not like a gym doesn't solve a problem. Gyms
Yeah.
have their own place. You can go, you can get results, and everything works with them. It's not like it's a solution that doesn't work. But there comes a point of time where you are not able to go to the gym regularly. Like for example, I'll give you an example. So most of our customers are about 30. So, and
Hmm.
even if whenever you go to a gym, you'll see that 95% of the people in the gym are in their 20s. So it's not like the moment they enter their 30s, their requirement of living a healthy life goes down, and it's not, nothing like that. So, but it just happens to happen ki, yeah, the moment you enter your 30s, life happens. So your workload increases, your pressure from your family increases, you have other commitments. You don't feel working, a lot of women don't feel comfortable working out in the gym. So there were so many reasons why people were like gym was not working for a lot of people who actually wanted to do something for their fitness and who actually wanted to work out. And what we saw when we went into the home gym segment was that there were a lot of solutions, but all of them were either cardio based. So you have like thousands options for a treadmill, thousand
Hmm.
options for cycling machine, uh, or the strength training section was a very big compromise from what a gym solution provides. So either it's like few couple of bands or a couple of dumbbells that you buy at home, and you are very limited on the number of exercises that you can do. So like dumbbell is pretty versatile, but you can never train your back properly. Things
Yeah.
like that, or you cannot go very heavy. Like if you wanted a proper barbell and then plates, you'll require a separate gym room.
Hmm.
So we felt yeah, what we wanted to build, we were very clear that it should not look like a compromise solution to a gym. Because you are not at all able to go to the gym, this is a compromise solution that will work for you. Like we did not want that. We wanted from day one, we wanted something which can replace an entire gym, so that when you have that switch in your life, yeah, you loved going to the gym, but now because of life you are not able to go to the gym, you do not have to compromise on your fitness. You can buy something like an Aeroleap, which basically gives you a one is to one experience of the gym, if not better. So that was the initial problem statement when we started off Aeroleap. And definitely, when we started building it, the tech that we were using opened up a lot of doors to build experiences that are not even possible in a traditional gym. So what you were talking about, like, uh, so for people who do not know, so Aeroleap is basically a single piece of equipment on which you can do almost every exercise that you can do in a gym. And the way it works is that we do not use physical weight stacks. So there are no iron plates inside against which you work out like a traditional gym or dumbbells. The way this works is we use a motor inside to simulate the weight. And what that allows us to do is basically it gives us two major advantage. One is that the machine becomes fairly compact. So this is the machine that you see, like it doesn't take up
Yeah.
any amount of space in your wall, and you can install it in your living room. So it doesn't look like a gym equipment at all. So that was one key benefit that you get from using digital weights, that the machine is very compact and the machine is very versatile. And the second key advantage which we like which a traditional gym cannot give is basically because you start using a motor, you start getting a lot of data from when the person is exercising, and you can
Hmm.
make the machine very smart. So what I mean by that, it is not just that it counts your reps and it counts your sets. That is like the very basic fundamental thing. But what you can do is you can build intelligence on top of it on things like, I can understand when you are struggling. So if the machine thinks you are struggling, it can reduce the weight for you so that you can complete your set. Uh, in a otherwise other setting of a gym, you would have just given up. But you can still
Hmm.
push through and complete your set because the machine understands, yeah, this person is struggling, and it reduces the weight for you. It takes care of the entire progressive overloading part. I worked out at this. So basically, now I've been working out at Aeroleap for more than a year now. I've forgotten about what weights I work out at because the machine remembers everything, and it makes sure that I don't just keep working out at the same weight. It keeps me on the track of like progressive overloading. So if I did bicep curl at 12 kg today, either it will tell me to do a little bit more number of reps, or it will tell me to increase the weight, or it will automatically do that for me. So things like that. So basically, a lot of what a personal trainer does, you'll be able to do when you start getting a lot of data from when you're exercising. And that was like a big change that we saw, and we that was the benefit of digital weights.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how is the product priced? Uh, what is the
Yeah, yeah. So right now for the Indian market, we don't charge any subscription. What we do is basically it's a one-time buy. You can buy the product at around 1.7 to 1.8 lakhs, the basic model, and then of course you can keep on adding more add-ons as you like. But that is like the base price. This includes GST and everything, and installation, warranty, everything we take care of, and there is no subscription on top of it. And we have like hundreds of hours of recorded content as well, where the best trainers in India, they have built custom programs for you, and you can follow that. So all of those is
okay?
just included in the price point. Another
Got
thing,
it. Yeah.
just when I talked about this, another feature is basically the way you follow a video. So in the traditional gym, if you go and you try to follow a workout video, it's
Hmm.
just basically a trainer on the other side trying to do some workout, and you try to keep up with him. So for example,
Hmm.
if a trainer is doing bicep curl, he's doing at 12 kgs, he'll do 12 rep and then he'll move on. Most
Hmm.
likely you don't know what weights you should be working out at. And even when you know when you're working out, most likely what will happen is he'll complete his rep and he'll move on to the next set, and you will be there struggling to keep up with him. So either you'll do quickly, which is very dangerous, or you will just keep your leave aside your set and move to the next set, which basically defeats the whole purpose. The moment you have digital weights, what happens is the machine knows how many reps and sets you have done. So for our videos, what we do is we edit them real time, so that when a trainer is doing a bicep curl, he'll keep doing bicep curl till you do the number of reps and sets the machine has told you to do. So you can work out
Okay.
at your own pace. And the moment you complete your set, the videos will again be edited real time, so that it will just feel like the moment you press the stop button, even the trainer completed his set, and then he'll move on to the next video. And all of this is seamlessly edited in real time. So it's very much like working out with a personal trainer. The trainer will tell you based on your goals what is the best exercises you should be doing, and the machine will tell you for those exercises what are the best reps and sets that you should be specifically doing.
Okay. So, like this is what I was specifically talking about. That this detail, like we couldn't think of this solution or anything that this something like this could have existed, or something like this could have had in the home gym space. And
Yeah,
yeah, about the data part, so I totally agree to it. So previously, I wasn't recording my data when I go to the gym, but recently, when I saw a few
yeah,
YouTubers or something talk about it, like Saket Gokhale and all, so they usually record their workouts in like
yeah,
not in notes or something. So I keep on recording my workouts in the note that this is the timing of my workout, this is the how much kgs I. So next time I can, as you said, progressive overload, I can consciously say, okay, if I did bicep curls with 7.5 kg, I have to do like with 10 kgs or something like that. But so this is quite effective, I would say, ki if I don't have to go through that hassle of maintaining, and the machine only tells me that you have done this. So because I personally have seen a lot of effect in my body and my workout after I started recording the data manually. But it's,
yeah,
of course, it's a lot of efforts to record it. Sometimes you forget, sometimes you don't know how much like you have done in the previous session. So yeah, this is quite helpful, I would say. Uh,
yeah. And even this is at like the most basic level of intelligence that we have built. So for example, uh, right now what we have done is we have been able to replace like a personal training experience with the machine. But what we think is we can even take it to the next level. Like we haven't implemented this, but we want to at some point of time. He, for example, most likely because we are getting data, we'll be able to tell कि, yeah, this set of customers responds better to this kind of exercise, or maybe they respond better to basically heavier weights at lower reps, and this kind of customer segment responds better to lighter load and heavier rep and like a larger rep set. So and that you are able to do because you are able to collect so much data and you are able to see the progress each person is having. So
hmm.
that kind of customization can be done, and it's not even just that. It's things like say for example when you are doing bicep curl, you just do it at 12 kgs. We have the potential to change the weight at each and every rep. So, for example, it can
Okay.
we have something called a burnout mode, which we just released. And the way it works is that, for example, I can do bicep curl at 12 kgs, but that is just because I'm limited to working out at a fixed weight when you go to a gym. But we don't have that restriction. So what we do is we start off with 2 kgs. You are the machine says you are able to do 2 kgs, it will increase it to 4 kgs. You are able to do 4 kgs, it will increase it to 6 kgs. Slowly it will ramp it up so that even your warm up is done in that one particular set. The moment it will reach 12 kg, it will see that yeah, you have started struggling after 2 or 3 reps. So it will reduce it to 8 kgs. Then it will see, oh, you are able to do it at 8 kgs, it will increase it to 9 kgs. And then so basically the graph will start like it will increase, then it will be constant, then it will start slowly decrease, then it will keep going up and down based on your performance, and then at the end it will decrease again. So at the end of it, you'll be doing a rep at, say for example, you can do 12 kgs, but at the end of one burnout mode you'll be able hardly able to lift 3 kgs. So
Oh,
and that we feel will be very time efficient way to work out, uh, on which nobody has done research because such kind of technology doesn't exist. So you
hmm.
don't know how well that will work. Like so that is something that we want to work on in the future. Ki we don't just want to limit it to limit ourselves to do basically just try to replace a gym, but also to push that preventive healthcare from that end itself. Ki what is the ideal way to work out for each and every customer, right? And what is the bare minimum amount of time that a person needs to work out to achieve his goals? So all those kind of
Hmm.
R&D and research can be done using a tech like this, which is what we plan to do.
No, so definitely this sounds interesting, not only just from the value perspective, but also from the safety perspective that if I'm not able to lift it automatically, because there are a lot of injuries and everything that happens at the gym because of the ego lifting, or just because you're not aware that if you can push through or not. So this is like a machine, not a machine, it's like a more a smart personal trainer, I would say, that suggests that no, now you can't lift above it, you're not able to, so you need to push down the weights or something. So it's not just from the value or that perspective, but more importantly from the, I would say, safety perspective, because if you need to work out longer, you need to have your body right like this. It's proper, then you can work out. So
Yeah, so
definitely this.
even safety. goes to the next level. Basically, what happens is, for example, you're doing bicep curl alone at home. First of
Hmm.
all, you don't have to set the weight first and start doing workout. Like, you don't have to come to the
Hmm.
starting position with the weights on. Because it is motor based, there is a foot pedal that you have, so you can just come to the starting position with almost zero weight, just press the foot pedal
Okay.
and the weight gets engaged, so you can start doing it up. So all the injury that comes from, say for example, lifting a very heavy dumbbell, getting to the starting point of overhead press, that type of
Yeah.
injuries are gone, because you the weight is engaged once you come to your starting position. Then second is of course spotter. So for example, if it sees you're struggling with the weight a lot and it is 100% sure that you won't be able to complete the rep, it will reduce the weight. If you don't move for a very long time, the machine will think that yeah, something is wrong, and it will reduce the weight. So all those safety
Hmm.
features are possible, and actually they are necessary. So if you are working out at home alone, most of the people,
Yeah.
if they are working out at home, they are working out alone, right? So there's nobody to spot them. So you need tech like this so that you can safely work out at home, and then you can say, yes, I can replace the gym completely.
Yeah. No, like this is definitely needed in during home workout because most of the time when we work out at the gym, I know if I go wrong or if I want to ask something, I can go to a general trainer or a personal trainer. I can ask. In during home workouts, I know that if I go do something wrong, I don't have anyone to ask or I don't have anyone to. So if the machine only suggests me and assists me, so it will definitely be helpful. And as I say, like so. Definitely, the machine and the product has a lot of value. So recently, when I was watching some podcast or some founder post or something, I read that in like he said, I guess Varun of Mama said that India is a value-driven country rather than purely a price-driven country market. So, considering that your device is priced at 1.7 lakh rupees, do you find that Indian consumers are willing to pay the premium for the quality and innovation, or is it still early?
No, for sure. So that it is definitely a value-driven country. Like, it's not like it's just the price point. We If we reduce the price point, if we give like a 20,000 rupee off discount, it's not like our sales will increase 10x. It's what we have, and even people are willing to pay a little bit more. And it's not just about quality. It's about what value they are deriving from the product. So how big of a problem it's solving for them, and if they think that yeah, it is justified, it's a very big problem in their life, they are willing to pay a good amount of premium for that. So i- it's not that this is the quality of the product that they are impressed by. It's more of key, yes, it solves a very big problem in their life. They are able to safely work out at home. They are able to improve their uh, health and wellness at home working out, and they are able to be very consistent just because that barrier of working out has reduced once they have bought something like this at your home. So most of our customers, they don't compare it to like a gym membership or anything. They understand the value that the machine provides at its own level, and then they are willing to pay that amount. So for sure, I would say yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so definitely, like if someone buys a 1.7 lakh rupee product, it definitely has to be like a value-driven market. Hence, I was curious just to know about it. But yeah, uh, you've got to know. And in the episode, you mentioned that your main focus is not India, if I'm not wrong. Like if this you have mentioned, and so like any reasons that your main focus was not India, or is it a good product? Is it at this price point? Is it a good product outside India, or like what were you say the reasons for it?
Yeah, so when we started off Aroleap, we never wanted to limit ourselves to India. It was like this tech in itself is going to be the future of strength training. What we understood was the digital weights tech that we have. That is going to be the
Hmm.
future of strength training. And strength training is required everywhere. So, at whatever country you are at, people need to work out every day. People need to do incorporate strength training into their life, and that is a very big need. And what we saw was that there were one or two companies building a similar technology, but their price points were extremely high. So, for example, there is one company in US doing a who makes similar product like this. Their price is 3x our price. So even for the
Hmm.
US, it was unaffordable. And what we
Hmm.
understood was ki, uh, like like this is a premium product in the Indian market, But
but
the
not in
moment
the.
you move to a company like country like Europe or US, this is
Hmm.
going to be a very affordable price point for them. And because nobody else has built a product at this price point, we feel yeah we have a huge advantage when we move outside India.
Okay, got it. So, like, have you started in
Yeah.
the globally or is in the process?
It's still in the process. So we are ramping up here in India. We still have unmet demand here in India. So we want to cater to that first, and then take it globally. So globally, taking a product globally from India has a longer timeline for sure.
Yeah,
So that is
yeah.
why we are just focusing on India right now. But yeah, at some point we want to start exporting it globally.
Okay. No, definitely because it's like as you said, it might sound like a premium product, but even I have seen that they are like $3,000, $4,000 in the US. So it definitely at a affordable price point for the Europe or international markets.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to know is that what has been the most surprising or valuable piece of feedback you have received from your users since launching Aroleap? Like, how has that influenced any updates or changes in the product? Have you uncovered any like unique consumer insights from in the past 4 years that has shaped your approach to the market?
Uh, so the way we did was we had very low conviction that people in India are going to buy such an expensive product online in fitness space.
Hmm.
So when we started off, we loved the technology, but we did not have a clear path on how we are going to sell it. But once we started doing it, what we understood was that yeah, there are a lot of people who uh, saw value in it, saw a product like this, which basically was solving the problems for them, and they were willing to buy it online as well. And we were presently surprised by that. So that was one thing for sure. And what we understood was that like a lot of people say that India is a very tough market to crack, in the sense of like the what a consumer demands compared to countries outside. Uh, but what in our experience, what we saw was that if you provide a great customer service, uh, even people here are very understanding. So for example, the way we do customer services. We form a WhatsApp group with each and every customer that we have, an independent WhatsApp group where all the founders are there. The salesperson who was in contact with them, who sold them, so who is basically the face of our company for them, he is there on the
Hmm.
group. The person who is going to do the maintenance of their machine is on the group, and the person who installed the machine is on the group. So from
Okay.
our side, we have everybody on your WhatsApp group. If you have any issue at any given point of time, you can directly put it on the WhatsApp group, and we'll be there to sort it out. So the moment we started providing that kind of customer service, we just saw that everybody became very understanding. So sometimes what happened was initially basically our product has a version which has a glass front. So
Hmm.
basically, that entire front panel is a glass, and shipping was not in our hand. So we used to ship, like we use an external vendor to ship our product, right? Uh, so few of the products that reached the customer place, the glass got broken. And just think about that. You are spending around 2 lakhs on a product, and then the product arises
Yeah.
broken. Like people will be pissed. Like even we understand that we'll be pissed. Uh, but the moment you have that WhatsApp group, you have that constant communication with the customer, and the customer understands that we are working our best. They become very understanding. We just ship another unit there. They patiently wait for the product. They give us great feedback on that as well. So that is something that we understood. It's not just it's a tough market if you just ignore customer service, but
Hmm.
if you start listening to your customers, if they feel that they are being heard, at least they are very understanding. So that is something that we thought has helped us a lot. For example, we give a 30-day return policy. So at the end of 30 day, you don't like the product, just return it. Uh, all the installation cost, shipping cost, everything is a loss for us. We'll take that. You will get the exact amount of money that you paid us. And not a lot of people, like our return rate is very low. So that is what
Okay.
we understood. The Indian customer can also be very understanding if you just listen to them. That was
No,
one thing that we understood. Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely. So, as you mentioned this, as a customer, if I listen to it, like I totally agree with it that if I'm ordering something, not just a 1.7 lakh rupee product, but even if it's like 1,000 or 2,000 rupee product, I as a customer expect certain level of customer service from the company. So, for example, when I order from Amazon or Flipkart, recently I have been having a lot of issues to contact their support. Like I have to wait on the call like for hours and hours. I have to contact them. So it like absolutely ruins the experience of ordering from that app. So it's not like as a customer they need like a perfect product or something. Yeah, of course they need, but even they understand that even the company is like can make mistakes. They are not robot. They are humans. But
Yeah.
if you give them a customer support like this, that it's just at the tip of their hand, like I can just WhatsApp you that hey Rohit, this is the issue. Can you just solve it? Then of course, even if you take 1 or 2 days, or for that matter, a couple of days to solve that issue, I'm completely fine with it. But if someone doesn't pick up the call, or if for complaining I have to go through a lot of hassle, then it's just frustrating, and the customer like then doesn't come back to you. So definitely,
Yeah.
this is like a great customer service approach, I would say. And I heard it for the first time from someone that there's a WhatsApp group with all
Yeah.
the founders and the salesperson. So
Yeah. Yeah. So
definitely, it builds.
initially, so we have like a Aeroleap app that you install on your phone or on your device, and then
Hmm,
you use it with the machine. So for example, right now you see that there is no screen on the top, so you can
hmm,
use your own phone. So we already had that
hmm,
app, and we had that choice key. Yeah, you can put the customer service on that app itself. Key, you go into your app and you complain. But that is not how you
hmm.
talk to a friend. You just mainly for communication. What do you use? You use WhatsApp. So we
WhatsApp.
thought, okay, let's just shift to WhatsApp. Let's see how much we can scale with that, and we'll see. Uh, like I personally have almost like 500 customer groups on my phone. But till now, it's not a problem. So we are just pushing it forward, and let's see how long
No,
we can
so
push that.
definitely, like the inbound app that the call agent or the customer agent is there, most of the time, personally, as a customer, I don't even complain on that because I know it's an AI bot or agent. It won't understand my problem. It will just give me the whatever is recorded, whatever is it supposed to say. So
Yeah.
most of the times I don't. I prefer calling someone and just complaining, "Ki, hey, this is the issue." So most of the times I call. So definitely, this is like a great customer service approach. Not sure, like once you grow bigger and bigger, how would you scale it at a bigger level? But yeah, for now, it just seems like a great approach to me.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And now coming to the Shark Tank episode, like with Shark Tank becoming one of the most popular shows in India, how was your experience on the show? Like, did it significantly boost your brand awareness for Aroleap? And after the episode aired, did you notice a spike in the sales or interest in your product?
Yeah, so there was definitely a spike, but that was just like for a one month or 2 month period. We always knew that spike is going to come down, so we did not we knew that the spike is very common. But what Shark Tank helped us a lot majorly was with the trust and awareness section of it. Not a lot of people knew about Aeroleap. Even if you know about Aeroleap, just going to a website and buying something from their website for such a costly equipment, that trust problem was always there. So Shark Tank helped us a lot with that, because even if you see the Shark Tank episode, right? There was a lot of back and forth on a lot of problems that we were having, but fundamentally what worked was that each and every shark loved the product. So
Hmm.
product was never a question. It was just how big the market is, what is your selling price, it is high, it's low, all discussion was there. But one key point was that everybody loved the product. So that helped a lot. Now also a lot of people have that trust on the product when they buy because of Shark Tank. So yeah, that was very useful for us.
No, definitely, yeah. So Shark Tank builds a lot of trust and brand awareness because when I see a 1.7 lakh rupee product, being sold on a website, I would be hesitant to buy before researching it. And
Trying it out, yeah.
I most of the time I wouldn't spend my time researching that what is Aeroleap. And if I just see a 20-minute episode or a clip of that the sharks are asking all most of the questions are answered during that episode only, like in the episode. So it definitely builds a trust in the customer. Yeah, so this is something that I can trust upon.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. And now, like many entrepreneurs find the Shark Tank experience thrilling, but also challenging, especially when it comes to securing investments. So, like,
Yeah.
could you share your experience with the sharks after your pitch? Especially, would love to hear the process and timeline of the investment following your appearance on the show.
Yeah, it's definitely uh, I would say our overall experience has been very positive. The so when we went to Shark Tank, for us specifically, we never expected to get a deal. Our pure goal of going to Shark Tank was brand awareness.
Brandon.
Key people know about Aeroleap. We thought, why will they invest on a fitness company just started off selling like 1.7 lakh product online? Like they won't invest. They'll just grill us, and we were ready for getting grilled all throughout. Like we knew ki what will work for us is basically getting on the TV. That was very important for us at that point of time. So
Hmm.
that was our basic away. But the moment we entered there, when we demoed our product, they loved the product, and then we understood that there is definitely something that we can get a deal here. So that time we were quite excited. It went on for almost for like 1.5 hour, that conversation inside the tank, and that was a very positive experience. So at the end of it, we got very lucky that we got a 4 shark deal, and yeah, we were very happy with that. Once we got off, like basically, then that entire DD process started. It was a very long process. Uh, Parallelly, we were already in talks with other investors as well. So the Shark Tank did not go through. Like we raised money separately, but overall, I
Okay.
would say like that experience was very good for us. One thing people have to be aware of is, yeah, that DD process is going to take a lot of time. So you can assume
Hmm.
like 6 month period just to get the money in your bank account, at least. So that is something that you have to be ready for. If it happens earlier, it's good. But most of the people coming on Shark Tank, they are not properly VC packed companies. So they are businesses at a very early stage. So that DD
Hmm.
does take a lot of time, and that is very understandable from their end as well. Ki if they are putting in their money, they would want the DD process to be done properly. So that takes time, but you have to be just prepared for that. So
So like, yeah, makes sense. If someone is investing, it can't be like a 1 hour conversation and they just give a check and the deal can be done. So yeah, it makes sense to obviously there might be the due diligence and stuff, but yeah, it
yeah,
sounds like a win-win situation if the deal goes through or if doesn't go through. If you are aired on the show, so even if you don't get the deal somewhere else, it might open the doors for investor like or might some other investors might reach out to you. So sounds like a fair deal.
it sure
And
is. Yeah, it sure is. Like that experience overall is a very good experience that I think a lot of people who are just on the edge of thinking whether they should go on Shark Tank or not, I would say definitely apply. At least try.
because yeah, so I would say it's the most viral marketing campaign for any brand or someone to be on Shark Tank because it definitely helps a lot.
Yeah.
And now coming to the product, like, do you have any plans to diversify your offerings in the future? Are there any categories that you're exploring, or you will be focusing on building this product and improving?
Yes. So when we started off, what we bet on first and foremost was the digital based technology. So the idea
Hmm.
that the gyms haven't seen any innovation for the past like 100, 200, or whatever it is. You just keep on working against an iron stack. Moving that to a digital medium, key having a motor to simulate the weights, get the data out of
Hmm.
like the machine whenever you're working out, and all the intelligence that you can build on top of it. So that was our core bet. Ki the future of workouts is going to be on digital weights. It
Hmm.
could be one or the other form factor. So this is basically just one form factor for us. ki building a compact home gym, like uh,
Hmm.
that made a lot of sense for us to start off with. But definitely this digital weights in itself has a huge scope. And not just that, like we have few products in our pipeline that are going to come out in the next couple of months, which use a completely different technology, but again they have the all the advantages that you see of digital weights that are also included in that. So our bet is that the tech of working out is going to change a lot in the future. It's going to be a lot more data driven. It's going to be a lot more futuristic, and that is what our bet is, and that is what we are working towards. So getting into B2B section, getting into coming out with different products for different segments. So this is, for example, this is a product that will that is for people in their 30s 40s who have been to the gym regularly in the
Hmm.
past, but now they want to replace an entire gym experience
Tim.
and bring that home. So for them, Aeroleap X is the perfect product. But say, for example, for my mom, like she does not even first of all know she needs to do strength training. Secondly, she never liked lifting weights, uh,
Yeah.
but she needs to incorporate that into her life. And her problems are not just that she wants to do strength training and build muscle. Her problems are more lifestyle related.
Hmm.
Like she wants to reduce a little bit of weight in the future, wants to make sure that her quality of life is good. So all those are like fundamental lifestyle issues that she wants to solve, and for that a person might not be willing to buy a leaf. So we are coming up
Yeah.
with product, the way I like to see it is people who love working out, for them Aeroleap is the perfect product. People who hate working out, they love the product that we are the new products that we are going to come up with in the next couple of months.
No, so yeah, like Aroleap would be best fit for someone who knows that or who has been to gym regularly, as you said, or maybe who has been to the gym and now doesn't have the time to go to the gym, like
Yeah,
post 30 when you have family commitments, workload, and stuff like that. So yeah, it definitely for someone like in the 20s who is in the college or just started their job. I don't think they might have that time bound issue.
yeah,
So, but yeah, for post 30 it definitely is a great product. And
yeah,
creating a device that mimics like a gym experience at home, like comes with a might come with a fair share of challenges, I would say. What were the some of the most complex technological hurdles you faced while building technological or even the hardware based hurdles that you faced while building Aeroleap? Because it doesn't look easy at all building such a complex product that seems from the outside. So, and how did you tackle them?
yeah. So the problem that we faced initially was that most of us were engineers, so we like to solve a very specific problem. The problem is ki, yeah, let's solve digital weights and everybody will start buying the product. But
Hmm.
it's not at all like that, right? A person is not buying digital weights. They are
Hmm.
buying the solution, the entire solution on its own. Like so for example, we have to take care ki uh, the product should not look like a gym equipment, because most of the people are going to install it in their living rooms and bedrooms because they don't have a separate gym room. You have to take care
Hmm.
of that. It's going to be nobody has that footprint ki you can have a very big and bulky product. That doesn't work out. When you are building the product, you have to include features uh, that you might not think are important in the beginning, but are very important for some people. So for example, all the safety features, we could always have pushed them later on, but you had like that was part of the experience, right? That was part of the promise ki you will be able to replace a gym. That means that the spotter that you get at the gym, who will make
Hmm.
sure that you work out safely, also needs to be at with the early texture. So that kind of thing. What we understood was that there were a lot of verticals that do not directly contribute to the product's promise of say for providing 75 kgs of resistance, but they were a very integral part of the product, and you had to understand that on what all verticals you have to spend time on, and what all is something that you can actually just skip in this and
Hmm.
just work on it later on. So understanding that, getting a balance between that was a very challenging task for us. say for example there was a few features that we spent almost 1.5 year building, and then realized that the customer did not care at all about that. So it was just a like, and the other solution that we made to replace that just took us around like 2 weeks to build.
Okay.
So that is something that you have to understand. I had worked in a hardware company before this as well, so that was also a
Hmm.
startup, and that there also I understood this only. Key for a software, it's very easy to keep on iterating and get to that
Hmm.
right problem statement while you are working on it. But hardware doesn't work like that. Hardware, if you select the wrong problem statement, if you have the wrong assumptions in the beginning, you can spend almost 3 years just working on the problem statement and not get anywhere. So for hardware, you have to be very careful on what restrictions you are putting on yourself, what problem statement you are thinking of, what all assumptions you have in your mind related to the customer, and then work on them. So that was the challenging part, I guess. I would say for us to build this product.
No, so yeah, because for it looks like the tech is also complex and the hardware, of course, is complex because you cannot build like a big bulky product because people will install in their houses and not everyone has that much of space to accommodate like an entire thing in their house. But now I definitely can see that it might be have been a lot of challenge to just make it compact and even eye pleasing that yeah the design is great, everything is great. So definitely
So
like
yeah, so one example that I can think of is uh, we decided to keep it wall mounted. Now that is a
hmm,
huge challenge for us operationally, because now
hmm,
whenever we send, it is not a DIY install. So if you are in say Hanumangarh and we send the machine to your place, we have to
hmm,
ensure that we are able to get technicians there who can come to your home, install the machine for you on
yeah,
whatever kind of wall that you have. So
yeah,
and then make sure that that is safe. So that is a huge operational challenge for us, but that was very important in ensuring a completely good experience. Because if say for example there was a stand at the bottom of it, on paper it feels like yeah, that should also work, that is an easy solution, it might not take up a lot of floor space.
hmm,
But this is basically my main corridor. The moment there is a stand here, I would never want to
hmm,
keep it here. Then I will
hmm,
think that yeah, I don't have a separate room, I might not have enough space. So even though it's not restricting your volume of that
hmm,
room, it still doesn't work for you. So
yeah,
that kind of things, ki, yeah, understanding that kind of that level of detailing, ki, yeah, this is something that will matter to the, and that has nothing to do with digital weights or you working out. You can work out well on both of them,
yeah,
but just understanding, yeah, this is not what the customer will want, this is what will want, and just building for that, even though it takes a
no,
much
yeah,
longer time.
like yeah, it might be operationally definitely it looks challenging, but kudos to you and your team for cracking the consumer insight and knowing the consumer so well that you have been able to offer such a great solution. So now coming to the end of the episode almost. So like build there's a constant debate that I've seen that should you start your company with start a company with your friends or not? And you have started Aroleap with a bunch of your friends whom you know since a long, like so many years. So how has your friendship influenced the way you approach decision making and problem solving within the business? And have there been any particular moments where balancing personal relationships with professional responsibilities was a challenge or
So the what I truly believe is the only reason we are able to build Aeroleap is because we have started off with friends. If it was anything other than that, I don't think we'd have been able to build this successfully and come to this stage of time. To tell the viewers a little bit more, like three of us, we are from the same hometown. So we went to the same school, then we went to the same coaching, then we went to the same college, and then we started Aeroleap together. So we have known each other for as long as we like from a very young age, and that is one of the key reasons why we have been able to build Aeroleap. Because
Hmm.
what happens is that this is like a hardware product which has many verticals. right?
Hmm.
So basically, there is electrical, there's software, there's hardware, there's sales, there's content, everything we are doing in house. There's operations part of it involved, and the only reason that it worked for us is because is that we had 100% trust on each other. So each one of us had owned a particular vertical in the startup and took full responsibility of that. So I have almost zero contribution on the software. Anurag himself has built the entire software from scratch. I have zero contribution in sales side. Aman has taken that entire lead on that. Amal took the entire lead on the electrical, and I had zero contribution there. And my contribution was when on the manufacturing side, design side, I had full liberty of doing whatever I want. And it worked for us because we had that trust. So we always took input from each other, but it was, we always knew, yeah, the final decision lies with him. And
Hmm.
that is what worked for us, and that is what made us very fast also. So Anurag can take that entire decision of whether this feature should be there or not. How should it be implemented, implementing it, taking it through to the end customer, getting his feedback, iterating it without having a single meeting with anybody else. So that helps us in like speeding it up a lot. That helps us in like being able to build this completely. Just having that trust, and I don't think we had any big major fights on almost anything, because at the end of it we knew कि, yeah, all of our incentives are 100% aligned. So if a person has a different point of view, he still has that same baseline assumption कि, yeah, I want to make a
Hmm.
relief work, right, and
Hmm.
we want to maximize our wealth or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That baseline assumption is always right. That baseline incentive is always there. So you have to understand ki, yeah, he might have a different point of view, but he's equally smarter, if not more than me. And if he's saying something, there might be a reason. So let's just go with it and see. So that kind of understanding helped a lot, and I think it
Yeah.
just brought us closer together as friends, because generally what happens is after college you hardly meet your friends. For us, it's the
Yeah.
other way around. We work with each other every single day.
No, so yeah, like that's the thing that you mentioned. The baseline thing is quite important. That even if you have a different perspective than others, you like if you know that the other person also wants the same thing that both of you want Aroleap to work,
Yeah,
even if he has this other perspective. So respecting his choice and decision and trusting to have that trust, I guess, is a great thing if you have friends and you can trust someone that he'll take care entirely of the software.
yeah.
So yeah,
And also
and
it was a very long journey for us, right? So we were 3 years in just in R&D without selling a single product. For the first 1 year, it was two friends just putting almost all their savings into two people working full time from their home. So that required a lot of trust among ourselves, right?
yeah,
It's easy to say that ki, yeah, you can trust somebody else also, but the moment someone new comes, there are always things that are there in your back of mind. Ki either I'm working more than him, he's working more. That everything, all of that goes away once you have that trust. So that I think was a very critical part of doing. That is why I say I don't think Aeroleap would have been at this stage if we had just found three random people to work with.
no, right now it makes like the question that I had now, it makes more sense and more clear in my head that yeah, because two of you left your job, two of you had your job, so like obviously there it takes a lot of courage to leave the job when two of the other friends have the job and to have that trust that no, even they want this to work and even they are putting the equal amount of efforts and money and everything into it. If not equal, but they are contributing into it. So yeah, it requires trust, and can't we can't trust someone like so easily if you don't know them for so many years.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. Like we had equal percentage ownership in the company, even though they were
Yeah,
working at different speed. They could not come when the company was getting registered. They could not put in their names because again they were working on their own companies
yeah,
in their own companies. But we always knew from the day one, Kia, it's equal ownership between us. Even though we spent 1 year working on a rave and they started joined later on, but
yeah,
it was only possible because we had that arrangement. So that kind
yeah,
of and they never questioned it. Like they said, yeah, whenever we leave, we'll join, we'll just have that amend that contract. So it was nothing was on paper in that manner, but we just have that thought that worked for
No, so
us.
definitely it helps not just in starting, but even after you scale, after you
Yeah,
reach a certain level, to have that trust and to know that he'll take care of certain things, I'll take care of certain things. So definitely
yeah.
it uh,
Another
helps.
thing,
But
another thing that
yeah,
helped a lot is what we understood. Just one second.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So another thing that helped a lot is that what we understood was the startup journey was so long that there were like it's still long. Like we haven't reached anywhere, but we are still at the starting phase. But that R&D period was so long that each one of us has ups and downs in our motivation. But just because there were four of us, it always averaged out and it was way higher than the zero line. So if I was working alone, there might have been months where I might not have been productive at all, because of which Aroleap might not have moved forward at all. But there were three other people working diligently on that. So at some point of time, you again your motivation increases. At that point of time, somebody else motivation might go down. But we all knew, yeah, at some so that ways a lot of things work for us.
No, so 3 years definitely is a long journey because considering you haven't launched the product in 3 years, you just work, building it. There's obviously a lot of, like, I would say, thought that goes behind that. What if it doesn't work? What if we end up somewhere else? What if we don't know what should be done next? And also, 3 years building a product requires a lot of mental energy and support, I would say, which comes if you have friends. And it definitely makes your journey also more fun when you have friends building the same thing together with the same amount of passion. So, yeah, definitely, I would say that. Aroleap from the outside looks quite interesting as a consumer to me. And after this conversation, the amount of details that I got to know about the software, the features, and your future plans, especially about the customer service part, it definitely stands out even more after this. And even the 1.7 lakh price point somewhere seems justified that, yeah, if someone has put so much of details. So I love the details on the hardware side of it as well, that you've made it so appealing as well as compact to come in, yeah, to be fit inside every home.
Yeah.
So, but thank you so much, Rohit, for joining me. It was a pleasure to have you, and I got to learn so much about fitness, Aroleap hardware in general, and I'm sure the viewers might also have had a great time. But thank you so much, Rohit, for joining me. It's a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, yeah. It was a pleasure talking to you as well.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.